I know. What's up, girl? Alright, come Sasha. Come Sasha. Good body. It is October, and it's cooling off really good, isn't it? Not at all.
I was about to say, yeah, I'm like, wait, no.
It's not. We had record temps again this week. I don't know, we're near a record today, and that's true in the next few days. So it doesn't feel like fall yet, but it's coming eventually. We've got our pups here with us, and you guys have given us a lot of great advice, not only in the comment sections here, but also on our podcast. So we do our podcast. When do we do that?
We do that every Saturday at 2 p.m. Arizona time.
And that's 2 o'clock Arizona time, which doesn't change like everybody else does here shortly. But we get a lot of great tips from you guys on different things, and sometimes not so good tips. But we get some good ones sometimes. And I know with the pups, we've gotten some great advice from you guys. One of the things we started doing is training them separate, right? So when we take them for walks, we don't do that together. So we do them separately, and Sasha is going to eventually learn how to sit.
Yep, sit.
Huh, sweet girl.
Sit.
Sit. Good girl. So also when it comes to fall is we have all of our livestock here, and those pigs, I think pigs have FOMO worse than any adult human. You know what FOMO is?
No.
Fear of missing out.
Oh.
Yeah. So when we feed them, they're constantly going back and forth. And when we have now that we have the feeders, the sets of feeders separate, you just see them constantly going back and forth between the sets of feeders.
Yeah, so thinking that there's something better in another one or something.
Yep, and they just don't want to miss out on the better grub.
That's funny.
Yeah. So obviously when it comes to fall, we also have all of our chickens, and that includes our broilers. And this year we figured out how to take 150 of them and put them into our livestock trailer. And they've done really, really good for the last couple of weeks. But it's really starting to run out of room, and it smells horrible in there.
Yeah, you can only mix that bedding so much, and it just,
Yeah.
it's a lot of it in there pooping.
And in order to have actual pasture chicken, well, you need to put them on pasture. Kennel, Sasha.
All right, kennel, Maverick. Kennel, kennel.
Girl.
Good boy.
Girl. Sit.
Good boy.
Sit. Good
Sit.
girl.
You're like,
Oh, is that the split leg? So we have all 152 of our 3-week-old broilers here in one of these tractors. It's great to see this because, you know, we all know that if you're moving, you're healthy. The same goes for chickens. So as much as the trailer was great for the last 2 weeks, they really need to make sure that we get them out here on grass and they're moving around on this dirt. Now, 2 things about this. First one is immediately they started eating greens, and they just got off a feed. So they're nice and jam-packed, their crops are nice and full, but they're still eating these greens, which is exactly what we want. Second thing is, you'll notice the stocking density is very, very heavy, and that's on purpose because in addition to giving them grass to eat and moving them so they're active, we also want to make sure that we're taking the fertilizer and we've got a nice heavy layer of fertilizer that's going to go on the ground behind them. We'll be coming back behind these guys here in November, planting out our winter ryegrass and some additional alfalfa for the spring, and we want that heavy manure layer because that's where we get all of our fertilizer for our pasture. So these guys will move at least once a day at this point. Eventually we'll spread them out into multiple tractors, but every single day they're gonna have nice green alfalfa to munch on. There is an instance that happens where you say you know you're a farmer when, and right now I would say that's the case. Because we were just shoveling a whole lot of crap. I mean, a lot of poop. Big old mound of it behind us. I know we had talked about this before, but this is actually last year's pig manure, right? So these are from the pigs last year. We had it piling and basically just drying all summer long, all in there since I believe it was April. So we've got about 6 months where it's basically just aging. We like to do that because it breaks down just a little bit, and what we found when we were using it this morning and combining it here in our little lasagna, our poop lasagna,
Oh my goodness.
is that the crumbles were smaller. So it should break down a bit faster than I think the fresh manure was doing for us. So we'll see how that goes. But this, of course, is going to be utilized to fertilize most of our fruit trees here on the farm. So making our own compost. We'll compost this down for the next month or so, and then we'll let it sit for about 5 months. So we won't use this compost until May of next year. So we've got several months before we're going to touch this once it's all composted. So if you guys haven't done so already, join us on the Desert Farmer Podcast. We do that every Saturday at 2 p.m. Arizona time. We cover a lot of things on there, but we answer your questions. We have a lot of folks that join us there, ask some fantastic questions. A lot of it is fruit tree and farming related. So if those are things for you, well, my guess is they are because you're here right now. But we have a great time answering questions and spending some time with everybody. Would love to see you there. So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this newly established functioning farm in the Arizona desert and would love to see you on a regular basis. If you have any questions or comments, those go in the
Comment section down below.
and our Amazon shop. I'll leave a link down in the description. That's a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with the link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere,
So can you?
let's get away from this poop.
Okay.
Don't fall backwards.
Okay.